Well, we've been told plenty of details about what's happening around the coronation, but still not a great deal about the coronation itself. We know it's happening on May the 6th, but beyond that, we're still waiting to hear about the finer points. People have talked about it being a slimmed down coronation. Well, it is, in a sense. It'll be quite a modern coronation compared to 1953 when the Queen was crowned, but that was always going to happen. At her coronation, they put 8,000 people in the Abbey. The Abbey can hold 2,000. They squeezed in an extra 6,000 seats on gantries and scaffolding. You can't do that these days. Health and safety won't allow it, so it's going to be smaller. They're going to try and make it a bit shorter. Last time the entire hereditary peerage turned up in their robes and coronets, so I don't think we're going to see that this time. What we have learned in the last few days is the fact that this is going to be a 3-day event rather than a 1-day event as it was in 1953. So we'll have the coronation on the Saturday, May the 6th. But then the next day, we're going to have up and down the country what they're calling a coronation big lunch. These are along the lines of the traditional street party, but it's actually very hard to shut down streets these days. So instead, they're encouraging people to sort of gather in parks and gardens and schoolyards and wherever, but in the same spirit, have a sort of community knees up. And then on the Sunday evening, following the coronation, there's going to be what they call the coronation concert. This is going to be a huge event, broadcast live from Windsor Castle on the BBC. There'll be a lottery for tickets. It'll be a really grand event. It won't just be a pop concert. I understand it's going to be quite orchestral. And here there is this sort of strong emphasis on inclusivity, diversity. So they want choirs. They're talking about having a refugees choir, an LGBT choir, army choir, army wives choir. I mean, all the great orchestras from around the country, plus there'll also be, I think, some of our greatest stage names as well. The King is a huge fan of Shakespeare, and we're told there's going to be a lot of Shakespeare in it. So it's going to be a very big televised spectacular. At the end of it, there's going to be a light show. In the old days, we'd have had fireworks. Fireworks are not deemed to be very eco-friendly these days, so I think we'll see an amazing kind of drone show, rather like the one we saw at the end of the Platinum Jubilee. And then on the following day, on the bank holiday Monday, they're having what they're calling the big coronation help out. This is a sort of celebration of volunteering with volunteers of literally every kind up and down the country doing some sort of voluntary work. And again, it's in the sort of spirit of community inclusivity. So it's based around a very ancient event. I mean, the actual essence of the coronation won't change in any way that it has in the last 1,000 years. You're still going to have what they call the recognition, the anointing, the crowning, the homage. These sort of key, almost biblical elements of the coronation service will still happen. But around it, you're going to see, as I say, a series of very 21st century events. And one other thing we won't see, in 1953 there was this extraordinary parade after the coronation that meandered through central London for about 5 miles with 35,000 troops. It took about 2 hours for each person to march the route, and it went on for hours and hours. We simply can't do that. The numbers aren't there now. We don't have that sort of military manpower. So those sort of things will be smaller, but it's still going to be a very memorable occasion. It's still going to show that we have at the heart of this nation a very ancient institution, which is unique in today's world.
Thank you for watching, but don't forget to click here to subscribe to our Royals channel for Palace Confidential, which brings you the latest royal news, views and gossip. See you there.